Okay, welcome back to video 2. We're going to talk about some of the goals of the course and the reading to writing cycle that I've developed through Jane Spiro's framework that she's provided. So the goal here is to give students the opportunity to develop their writing and recursive writing skills. Just a chance to do that outside of the academic writing context, in a context that is more familiar to them. I also provide speaking strategies for communicating about their writing, specifically strategic competencies and discourse competencies have been very important to the workshop structure in my course. And through the writing process and drafting process and communicating with other students, um, my goal is to develop in these second language writers a unique authorial voice. Okay, something that is theirs, their style, that you can read their poem and say, oh, I know who that writer is, just by looking at their writing itself. And through these techniques, I hope to increase students' emotional engagement in their second language learning, and hopefully they'll have some agency and ownership of their language that they did not have before the course. So why do creative writing? Well, it's a useful skill for university students that they can transfer into their academic writing. Hopefully it builds confidence when they're communicating both verbally and written. And as Hanauer writes, it can foster emotional engagement, agency, and ownership. And a common misconception is that you need to be a high-level user of English in order to write creatively, which is not the case at all. You write with what you have, whatever level you may be, whatever language you bring to the table. Creative writing is about organizing that language in an interesting way that communicates some sort of meaning to the audience. Okay, very good. So the reading to writing cycle very quickly that I've developed through Jane Spiro's writing approach is 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. The first one is choice. Okay, where students read previous L2 writers' poems, so they're not intimidated by a native speaker's poetry. They read the other cohort's poems. Okay, so choosing some that they like. Then our step 2 is articulation, articulating the reasons for these choices. Something as simple as, I like this poem because. Then the third one is the writing cycle, where they draw on personal experiences to write expressive texts. And in this class, poetry, where they apply techniques from the close readings from step 1, and also various material that I've taught them in the class, which is things like literary devices. I explicitly taught punctuation, form, various other materials from the class. But the main thing is that they draw on their personal experiences. I ask them to use their memories, which thus creates the context for the class. And finally, step 4 is to reflect on the process as they think and analyze, do their workshops, and they write their reflections. Okay. And so the assignments then for the class based on these steps, the first assignment is step 1 and 2, which is their reading and response. Okay, I like this poem because. Then they need to write 12 poems, which is step 3. And step 4, they have a midterm and a final reflection task. And during the semester, they're also writing in student journals, just drafting and revising, and everything goes into their portfolio at the end. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for joining me. Stay tuned for some more talk about the process of the workshop, and we'll get to look at some of the students' poetry. All right, thank you very much.